Hello, and welcome to my video on Emblem Engage, where I'll talk about some of the changes that I'll do to Chapter 14. However, before I talk about Chapter 14, I would have to first make preparations by doing some changes a bit earlier. The first part, now the change that I am talking about is between Chapter 11 and 12, when they are leaving the forest and entering Solm. Or I guess once they're at Solm. Quite simply, we can have Hortensia tailing them, and then we can have another character tailing Hortensia, in which that character will send one of his men to Zephyr to relay the information. This would help set up the information for the four hounds to know where they are. And second, this will give a reason to how Hortensia made into the palace in the first place. The biggest problem with this, however, is the fact that it is the desert. Not very hard to spot someone in the distance, now is it? Especially when you have Fulgado, who lives in the desert. I do not believe that this is the best answer, but it helps explain how Hortensia found her way to the Palace of Solm. I mean, you can even have chapter 13, where you may have random reinforcements, enemy reinforcements, but they are not with the twins. And instead they are a part of a different faction and are looking for the emblem ring. Then we can have the Solm's palaces being attacked situation. And once you arrive there, you have Hortensia keeping Queen Sephoria hostage for the rings. Then we can proceed with the story where Hortensia threatens to take Queen Sephoria's life, but Tamara not backing down, which then may prompt the person tailing Hortensia to come in with his men to storm the palace. And then we more or less start the battle on the map. Now, I know this is quite different from the original Chapter 14, but I found that having the four hounds there takes away a lot more from the story than adds to it. So I decided that this is probably the better option to go with, even though I would rather try to keep it as the same as possible and try to find a way to justify it better. I just think that this would make for a much better story for what they were trying to go for. You might also have to change the map layout for the changes that I would want to do with this, because I think it would make for a more interesting map if we have Ivy and maybe Alir, one of the two, talk to Hortensia once, maybe twice, to have her join your party. That way we have another character that we have the chance to recruit from the enemy side, which would also lend itself to Chapter 17 in having Gold Mary and Rosado join your team. This would help spicing up the game a bit more and have some callback to older Fire Emblem games. Well, anyways, back to Chapter 14 and the map. After recruiting Hortensia back to your side, then we can have reinforcements come in, and you have to be able to have Alir and Hortensia meet up with each other so that, fast enough so that Alir can make Violet into a blue emblem, to which you would more than likely need to use Violet's engage attack to clear the enemies away, showing that Violet can be useful for helping you clear out large groups of enemies. Oh yes, I forgot to mention, there's also Queen Sephoria with Hortensia, and then with that, you would have to clear out the enemy before they get to Sephoria. That would help with the map design, and then after that you would have to go to the boss and kill him, I guess, because he cannot go back unless he gets the ring. That way showing another example of Zephyr's ruthlessness. I think these changes are for the better, as having the 4 hounds, well, I guess 3 of the 4 hounds here added nothing of substance, and further making the story drag with the amount of times you had to fight them, making them into a joke and a nuisance with how many times you have to fight them. But that is just my opinion on the matter. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the changes that I've made, and tell me what you have in mind for your own. And with that, goodbye.